Hey everybody, it's Ben here, Carolina Wild Harvest. Today we're going to be talking about composting, which is kind of the theme of the week this week with International Compost Awareness Week. So we're going to talk about a few different things as far as composting. First off, we're going to talk about compost tea. So how you can make that, what we use to make that, and a few different methods actually of making compost tea. And then also about saving food scraps and how you can make your own compost. So let's get started. We make compost tea pretty much regularly. Pretty much every week we make compost tea for our house plants and also outside plants. So we actually use this Malibu compost, Booze Brew Biodynamic. So it's made out of waste from cows, so cow poop. And basically all you have to do is take some dechlorinated water and take the little sack here with all the compost and set it into the water, and you let that sit for at least 12 hours. We usually do overnight or 24 hours, and then you're ready to use your compost tea. So we'll typically save that in like a gallon jug or something and use that throughout the week, each week for our plants. But there's other methods of making compost tea as well. So you could literally take your own homemade compost and put that in here in a bag or something. Mix it up, and there's some nice fertilizer and compost tea for your plants. And plants love this stuff. I mean, it's got all kinds of great stuff for them. I'm not sure the exact NPK, but it's definitely good for plants. So one good thing to have when making especially larger quantities of compost tea is a little bubbler like this, a little water fountain. You can get these air stones to hook up. This is a solar one, so you can just set this solar panel out in the sun, and this air pump basically pumps water. And what that does is it oxygenates the water, which allows the good bacteria in your compost tea to really thrive, and also mix around obviously the water to mix the compost tea in. So this is our kitchen compost container. So we keep this on the kitchen counter, and we save food scraps in it. So we've got these compostable bags that we use. It really helps kind of keep things clean, so we don't have to do as much cleaning of the actual container. So basically what we do is we just obviously save all our food scraps, coffee grounds as well, so spent coffee grounds, and we save those separate because they're good nitrogen for different plants that need specific nitrogen. But this is basically how we make our compost. We save our scraps, and we actually have a tumbler, a compost tumbler, which we'll show you, which is where we put these food scraps to make our compost. So this pak choi, purple pak choi, we actually recently transplanted into our compost, and it's actually grown quite a bit since we put it in there. The compost probably wasn't 100% finished. It still had some sticks and stuff like that in it, but they're really loving this compost. And like I said, this is our homemade compost. And the plants and the seedlings definitely love it. So here's our tumbling composter, which is actually a gift from my brother. So it's my favorite gift from last year. So this actually has two different chambers. So this is our older compost, which we started probably maybe 3 months ago. So that'll be finishing off in the next few months. And this is the active side, which we're currently adding compost to. You can see there's a lot of bugs, but that's just how nature works. So we're gonna go ahead and add our recent compost that we've been saving. Some watermelons and all kinds of different food scraps. We just add that in, close it up, and then give it a little tumble here, mix it around. And that's that. That's saving food scraps and making compost. A few of our, this is actually some of our finished, close to finished compost, which we've been using to transplant out different plants and do some seed starting and stuff with. We've also got some chicken waste, some spent hay and chicken poop, as well as spent bunny hay and poop, which we slowly add to our compost or out into other compost beds. So there's so much great stuff about composting. You're lowering your carbon footprint just by not throwing your kitchen scraps away to the landfill. You're also getting free fertilizer that you can use to supplement, you know, your plants that are out in the garden. You can also use finished compost for seed starting. Compost is also great for increasing the beneficial bacteria in the soil. So that helps with plant growth and making the nutrients that were in your food scraps bioavailable to your plants to have healthier, stronger plants. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and make sure you compost your food scraps. Happy Compost Awareness Week, and I hope you all get out and start composting, saving your food scraps, and thinking about your waste, and go grow stuff. Alright everybody, peace.